Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cadence. I am so happy to have you. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience over the last few months with Whitney Simmons ALIVE app. I'll be talking about the Alive and Thrive 45-day program specifically, as well as just talking about the app generally. I've tried several different workouts on the app, from strength training programs to HIIT workouts to no equipment workouts to foam rolling, warm up, cool down, and I'll talk about who I think this app is best for. I'm also going to explain why I am unsubscribing from the app for now. This video is totally unsponsored. It'll be completely honest. I'm really excited to get into it, so let's get started. Just as a quick review, this app costs $14.99 a month or $119.99 for an entire year. I'm going to review the details quickly of the Alive and Thrive program specifically. So you have a leg day, an upper body day, a push day, and a pull day, as well as a mindful mobility and walking day, which is kind of like an active recovery. And then there is a day where you do gratitude and a day where you do journaling. So there is something for every day, but it's not always exercise or fitness based. Some of it is tailored more towards your mental health. The push and pull days were often a mix of lower and upper body. If anything, sometimes they were only upper body. If you want a detailed review of each workout and what I thought of it, I did a week 1 review where I talk about each workout and day of the program individually and give some more detail there, so I'll link that. This will be more of a general kind of overview of the program. Let's talk about my results from the Alive and Thrive program. So a 45-day program, in my humble opinion, is not really enough time to see any kind of crazy results. Nothing drastic really happened when I switched to this training style because it was so similar to what I was doing before. I've been focusing heavily on strength training for about the last year and a half. This is a strength building program as far as I understand it, so I wasn't expecting to lose any fat, and I didn't. Throughout the program, I was able to make progress with my weight, and I could see that I was able to lift more over time. I also just got a ton of really great workouts in. I would often leave the gym with nothing left in the tank in terms of energy, and that's really how I like to leave the gym. I like to give it my all, and I was able to do that through this program with only strength training. There wasn't any cardio involved, no HIIT. I think if I continue to train that way for a little bit longer, and I did continue to push myself with getting enough protein, I think you could definitely see gains in strength. So that's about the best metric that I can give in terms of physical results. But one area that I was so impressed by, that I saw huge results in, was my mobility. So I have so neglected mobility, warm-ups, cool downs, and stretching in the last year. I used to be a dancer, so I was super flexible, and I have lost so much of that flexibility because it just hasn't been a priority. This program really forced me to get back into it. Having the mobility sessions on rest days was incredible and honestly life-changing. Like, I could see a huge difference in my mobility, especially my neck and my back being able to twist so much better. Something I want to address that I've heard about the app generally, but this program too. A lot of people have said that it is too easy and the rest periods are too long. So people have said it's like maybe better for beginners, or, you know, it's not difficult enough and whatnot. But I just wanted to highlight something. With any program, you make it as difficult as you want it to be. It's kind of up to you to continue to push yourself. So if you're finding this or any other program that you're doing too easy, I really encourage you to reevaluate, like, have I been using this set of dumbbells for the last 6 months? Like, maybe it's time to pick up a heavier set and just give it a try. One thing that not a lot of people know as well is that reps should not be followed exactly. There is an ideal range for hypertrophy, but really you'll see the most gains in muscle and strength when you push yourself near failure. So let's say that there's only a set of 10-pound dumbbells left on the rack, and you normally use 15s or 20s for this exercise. You can get a very similar strength building outcome by using that lighter weight and just doing more reps up until a point of around 30 reps is where that kind of like starts to disappear. So you want to do less than 30 reps, but you can see similar outcomes. So I like to kind of just adjust based on how I'm feeling that day, based on the weights that are available to me. The program may say 6 reps, but if I get to 6 and I'm not even puffed, I will go to 8, 10, 12, whatever it takes to get me close to failure. So that's just one recommendation I have for this or any other program. If you think it's too easy, if you think the rest periods are too long and you're twiddling your thumbs, I would really encourage you to push yourself with higher weight or more reps during your working time. Just something to think about. Let's get into the pros of the Alive and Thrive program. So this can be a pro or a con depending on your preferences. I find it to be a pro generally because I found that perfecting your form and using those core exercises is how you can see the most progress over time, at least in my experience. But the program does use the same workouts for about 2 weeks and then it'll switch it up. At least that's a pattern I noticed. I don't know if it's 100% of the time, but yeah, so there is some repetition. You're not going to be doing a fresh workout each and every week. The pros of this is that you can really perfect those movements and start to see progress in them even in a short period of time if you're doing similar movements each week. And also, she just kind of uses the essentials, right? Like, can't go wrong with a squat. a deadlift, an RDL, things like that. Another pro is that there is a huge focus on mental health and wellness, which I haven't seen in any other programs. The fact that you have the journaling option, you have the gratitude journal, both included within the program with little reminders to do those things, I think is really awesome. A lot of strength programs are all about lifting. I love that this program included warm-ups, cool downs, and mobility. A lot of programs just totally ignore that. And it's like awesome if you build a lot of muscle, but if you can't move, then it's not very useful. So I think the focus on functionality within that muscle building is really awesome. The legs, arms, push-pull split was super fun. And at first I was kind of unsure about it. I'm not usually someone who does a push-pull split, but I actually ended up really loving the split because it really kept things interesting and each day of the week was different. Let's talk about some of the cons of the program. So one of them is that the workouts are held hostage in the program within the app. So unless you favorite the workout, you can't access them without restarting the program. So after I finished the program, I wanted to go back and do some of the mobility workouts, but I had to pretend that I was starting the program again and then quit it in order to do those workouts unless you have those added to favorites. So another con is that this program didn't include any cardio, any HIIT, and nothing to kind of maintain your cardio fitness. And I totally understand it's a strength program, but I did notice after doing all strength all the time for quite a while, even before this program, I lost so much of my cardio endurance, which is duh, of course that's gonna happen. But cardio is really important for heart health, and I noticed myself getting winded walking up and down the stairs, which is just not really something that I want. I want to be a functional, strong person, but I think it's important if you are gonna do this program to sprinkle in your own cardio somewhere just to keep your heart healthy. Another con is that there were no isometric ab movements in this program, so that means the only ab work you're getting is any time that you engage your abs from a compound exercise like squats. I did find that from beginning to end of the program, because before this I was doing isometric abs, so just ab exercises, usually at the end of a workout. I would throw them in pretty often, at least a couple times a week. Between the beginning and end of this program, I feel like I lost a lot of strength and ability in those types of exercises because I wasn't training my abs as much, and I just didn't feel like my core was as strong. So that's something I would do differently if I redid this challenge, was add 5 or 10 minutes of my own abs at the end of a session when I have time. The last con is that you can't pause the program if you were to get sick or go out of town or something. So the days continue counting on, and I did actually one week in accidentally quit the program. I really wish that there was are you sure you want to quit the program? Because I accidentally tapped it and it just totally deleted all my progress and took me out of the program. So that was a bummer. Overall, I really enjoyed the program and highly recommend it to anyone from beginners all the way to experts. I think there's a lot to gain, especially from the focus on the mental wellness, mobility aspect of things. Let's talk about the app generally. I want to go through some of the pros of the app. My number one favorite part of this app is the timer. Timed rest periods has changed everything for me. I had no idea how much time I was wasting playing on my phone, messing around between sets until I had that timer. It increases the difficulty so much when you have those timed reduced rest periods. I love the weight history aspect. It will show you what your previous weight was for that exact exercise if you've done it before, and then you can log your weight, you can see your progress. It's really fun to scroll through and be a month ago I was doing 20 pounds and now I'm doing 25. Demonstrations of every single exercise from multiple angles make it's so clear what you need to be doing, and I just find the video demos really helpful as opposed to a photo. Each exercise has substitutions in case you don't have access to that equipment, or if you just aren't in the mood for that. So I would often use those substitutions, especially when the gym was really crowded. I also love that it tells you what equipment you will need at the beginning of the workout. So if you are about to start a workout and you know that your gym doesn't have XYZ machine, then you can either check the substitution to make sure you can do that, or you can switch to a different workout. Another thing I love about the app is that there is a journaling option and a daily gratitude option. I've used both of them and they're just so fantastic. The fact that this is integrated within a fitness app I think is amazing, because I really do think physical and mental health go hand in hand. I love the journey section of the app. So this is where you can do weigh-ins, you can add progress photos, and you can see all of the different workouts that you've done in the app over time. Okay, let's talk about some cons of the app. One thing is that I wish I could do workouts from different programs without starting them. So it does not appear that every workout is available in the daily workout section. So if it's within a program, it's kind of hidden away within that program. I really wish that I could poke around within the programs and be oh, this looks like a great leg workout. I just want to do that today. But you have to press start on the program, and then you'll start getting reminders for the program and stuff as if you're enrolled in it. So it would be really cool if you could just do one-offs from programs. And it would be cool if all of the program workouts were also available in the daily workouts. It seems right now that they're separate. Another con is that I don't think this is affordable and accessible to everyone, but this is really a minor one because there is so much free content online generally, as well as available follow on Whitney's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. She posts tons and tons of stuff there. So I think if this isn't affordable for you right now, you have lots of other options, but it's just a little bit pricey generally. I think it's well worth the cost, but $15 a month is quite an investment, especially because you don't actually own anything. You have to pay monthly, and as soon as that subscription ends, you no longer have access to anything. I had so many workout pausing issues with the Apple Watch. So as you're doing the workout, the Apple Watch will track your calories and your heart rate automatically, which I love, but I had so many issues with the app pausing when I had not told it to pause. So I would maybe start my next workout, it would just pause calorie tracking and heart rate tracking, and I wouldn't notice it until I was done with that set. I have emailed them about this, by the way, so they are aware of the bug. It might not be a bug, it might be intentional, I'm not sure, but when I would start a rest period, it would often pause, but then when I would end that rest period, it wouldn't press play again on the tracking. So I would just have no tracking for my set, which was really frustrating because I do use calorie tracking and average heart rate and things like that to measure my exertion, like estimated exertion. So it's very frustrating when you finish a hard set and you're like, oh, it just wasn't tracking my heart rate or anything. So that was the main issue I had, was just tons of bugs related to that automatic pausing. And I wish there was a way that I could just turn off the pausing. I don't want it to pause between sets. I want it to run the whole time. And yeah, I wish there was a way that I could just turn that on and say like, no pausing ever, just leave it alone. Another con is that generally it's just kind of buggy. This is to be expected. It's a small team and it's clear that they're still working through the bugs. In the beginning, I emailed their team about every single bug that I found, but at this point I just can't keep up. And if it's minor, if it goes away after that session, I usually just ignore it. If it's major and it's repetitive over several sessions, I will shoot them an email. But yeah, most of the stuff has been super minor, so it's definitely not a reason to not subscribe. When you're paying this price for an app, you would hope that they are responsive and quick about fixes, and they are quite responsive, but you never know how long a fix is going to take. That's just the nature of coding. My last con is something I touched on briefly earlier, which is that you don't own anything. So I will be unsubscribing soon. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but when I unsubscribe, I have no idea what's going to happen to all of my progress photos, my workouts that I've done previously. I don't know what will happen to my active minutes, what will happen to all of my journal entries, what will happen to all of my gratitude. And I really wish there was a way that I could save that stuff for myself. It does feel kind of weird that my journal entries may be just thrown into the trash can forever. So really, to get the full benefit of these features, such as your previous weights on an exercise, or your progress photos, or your journal entries, gratitude entries, you would need to subscribe forever, which is just not really feasible. So I am interested to see what they do. Will they send me a kind of little package that has all this information wrapped up for me? Are they just gonna get rid of it? If I resubscribe in the future, will it still be there? These are all kind of open questions. It is one thing to think about, is that if you're not planning to subscribe to this forever, at some point you will lose this information. Let's talk about who this program is best for. I think this is best for people who like to do mainly strength training and sprinkle, just a tiny sprinkle of HIIT or cardio or abs or other type of workouts into their routine. If you are a circuit-based trainer, this is not the app for you. If you like primarily HIIT workouts, it's not the app for you. There's just not enough variety, at least I was able to find, in those areas. But yeah, 7-day trial. Test it out for yourself. Don't just listen to me. There are tons and tons of programs to choose from. The vast majority of workouts available, though, are strength training. I think it's Whitney's main style, what she's good at, what she loves, so that is pretty evident in the app. If you're going to be working out exclusively from home, I counted from just the daily workout section, so there could be some stuff within programs that I'm not seeing. I know there's a full home program, but as far as I could see, there were only 13 at-home workouts that include no equipment. So if you're someone who works out at home and you don't have any equipment, I highly recommend that you do a trial of the app and see if that's enough stuff for you, because for the cost monthly, if you have absolutely no equipment and don't plan to get any, I don't know if it's worth it with that few workouts. There's probably 5 times as many, maybe more, of strength training and equipment-based workouts, so it's just something to keep in mind if you do home workouts exclusively. Okay, let's get into why I'm unsubscribing for right now. I'm not unsubscribing because of any issues with the app or because of the price. I think it's a wonderful app, and I think whether you're an expert or a beginner or anywhere in between, it's an incredible way to take the thought out of your workouts, improve your strength, build muscle, keep track of your progress, and just really simplify health and fitness. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time, so I think this is well worth the investment if you are a little bit time poor or you just want to have someone who has lots of experience building your workouts. Another reason is that every influencer and their mom has a fitness app now, and I have been itching to just try some different stuff, try these out and see what the best app of them all is. I think the Alive app is amazing, but it's the only workout app that I've actually ever bought. I've bought programs and used them through the Athlete app. I've done Natasha Ocean's Build Reload and Cut Reload programs through Athlete. But I do want to see what functionality is out there, what options are out there, how I feel, you know, like the different variety. Like I know some apps do recipes, you know, some apps have different features and functions. So I'm just interested to try new things out. And I've just been itching to switch up my training after doing like almost exclusively strength training for such a long time. I just really want to improve my cardio fitness because like I said, I am getting winded going up the stairs and it's just not really, it's not working for me. I need to improve my cardio fitness and this app just doesn't have a ton of options specific to cardio. Over the next couple of months, I will be trying out your and my favorite fitness influencer apps, from the KK Fits Drive app to, you know, whatever else you want to see. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're interested in me reviewing. Another thing is the holidays are coming up, and during the holiday season, I really just train where I can. It didn't make sense for me to continue my subscription through that time period when I wasn't sure how much time I'd be training, how much access I would have to a gym, especially when I'm visiting family, have family visiting me, etc. I'm just in the mood to experiment, try new things, and see if mixing up my training styles will really help me change my body. I'm gonna be mixing up my nutrition as well. I'm really excited to take you guys on this journey with me. It's an incredible app. It was so much fun to test it out for a few months. I highly, highly recommend that you give it a try for yourself. There are tons of free workouts on Whitney's Instagram that are incorporated within the Alive app, so check those out. I highly recommend a 7-day free trial. Just remember to cancel before that last day and you won't be charged a penny to test out the app, see for yourself. If you want to follow along with me on this journey of testing out all of these different fitness programs and apps, please make sure to subscribe. I do health, fitness, and food content, and I will be testing out everything under the sun over the next couple of months. I'm also excited to do lots of New Year's content, helping you reach your fitness goals this upcoming year. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.